screen. Huh? Okay, hopefully all of you can see the screen for those attending online. Yeah, I need to use this computer. I cannot use my PC. So I'll just remove this one, all right? I think the system is hanging. Okay, let me open the PowerPoint slide. Okay. So ready now, everybody? All right. So today, we are going to proceed to part 2 of chapter 1, which is on how to analyze the ungrouped data. Ungrouped means raw data. Okay. How to analyze those raw data after we have collected those data. Yeah. Okay. So generally, we can analyze the data either using the locality measurement, okay, or using or we can analyze the data in terms of the variation of the data, yeah, whether the first value and the highest value and the lowest value have a lot of differences, okay, or we can also identify the distribution of the data that we have collected, okay, through the variation measurement such as range, interquartile range, variance, standard deviation, and coefficient of variation. Okay, for locality measurement, we can use mean, mode, median, centile, quartile. Location means we only can measure the location of the value in a certain point only, in one point only. So we call it as locality measurement. Okay, so these are the measurements that we are going to study today. Okay, we are going to apply for good data. Okay, so let us start. So we'll start with the first measurement is mean. So I believe most of you are very familiar with this terminology. Mean means average. Okay, mean is the statistical term. Means average. A-V-E-G-A-R-R-A-G-E. All right. So what is the formula that we can use to calculate the mean value for group data? The formula is using the you have to sum up the total value given from the data set. Okay, total value. The symbol of something like E, this one means total. Okay, this symbol means sum, S-U-M. Something like E, but this is not E. This is sum. Okay, X is the value of all the scores. Then divided by what? Divided by number of data available. Okay, number of data that you have collected. Like for instance, in your project, you are going to collect 50 data. So your N is 50. Okay. So this is the formula to calculate the mean value. Okay. And the statistical symbol that we use to represent mean is X bar. Okay. X bar is the statistical symbol we use to represent mean. Okay, so let us try to apply this formula into one example. Let's say example A, 1A, all right? So assume that now we have a few data given. We have 5 data given, which are 7, 10, 9, 10, 9. Altogether 5 data. So if you ask to calculate the mean value, what can you do is you can apply the formula that we already studied this morning, total X divided by N. So the numerator, total X is referred to 7 plus 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 9. Okay, numerator. And then how about the denominator? Denominator is total number of data available from this question. So altogether we have 5 data. So replace 5 to here. Okay. So simplify this expression. The numerator, simplify, you get 45. All right. 45 divided by 5, you'll get 9. 9 is the mean value. So that means on average, this is the average value among these 5 numbers. Among these 5 numbers, 9 is the average value. Okay, 9 is the average value. So for this question, there is no unit, so we do not need to put any unit. But for your project later on, you may need to put unit for your answer. Huh? You need to indicate unit for your final answer. It depends on the variable of your study. Okay? Depends on the survey question that you are going to choose for your project. So how about example 1B, also the same? We also have 5 data. Okay, 5, 6, 5, 7, 2, 2, 22. Huh? So you may find that this 22 is big number, right? It's quite big number compared to others. Okay, so if that's the case, we can say that this 22 is extreme number. Extreme means it can be extreme huge number compared to the rest of the number in the data set. Okay. So in this case here, 22 can be considered as extreme number. Yeah? Extreme, E-X-T-R-E-M-E. Or we call it as outlier. Okay. Outlier or extreme number. So in fact, this extreme number is going to affect the mean value. Huh? Mean is very sensitive with the extreme number, with the outlier. Okay. It's going to affect a lot. Okay, so let's try to calculate the mean value using this data set, right? So the mean is equal to 5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 7 plus 22, numerator. All right, then the denominator is 5 because there are 5 data altogether. So 45 divided by 5, you'll get 9. It's also equal to 9. Okay, even though the first 4 numbers are very small, right? But the last number is very big. So this will make the average number is equal to 9. Okay. If without the 22, suppose your average number is about 6.5, right? Instead of 9. But because of 22, the extreme number, that increase the mean value. So mean is very sensitive to the outlier or extreme number. Okay, outlier here. Okay, so this is the weakness for mean. Right? Weakness for mean is sensitive to outlier. Okay, so that is the first measurement for today. Sorry, I need to sit down because I'm using computer today. My laptop is not working well. So sorry, I have to sit down instead of standing. Hope you don't mind. Okay. All right. So this is the first measurement. Second measurement, we'll move on to mod. Okay. So we need to understand first what is the meaning of mod. Mod means most frequent occurs number or most frequent occurs or appears value. Okay. Or the number or the value or the object with the highest frequency. That is the mod. Okay. So in order to get the mod, it's good that we can sort the data so that we can see the pattern of the data. Right? It's better to arrange the data from smallest to highest value. Okay, so that we can identify which number appears the most, and that will be the mod value. Okay, in order to make our job easier. So I already sorted the data. Sorted means arrange the data. Start from 4, 5, 6, 7 until 8, 9. Okay. So you may find that 7 appears how many times? 5 times. Okay, 7 appears 5 times. 4 appears only 1 time. 5 1 time. 6 2 times. 8 and 9 only 1 time. So this question is very obvious. The answer is 7 because 7 appears most of the time. So 7 is the mod. Okay. So you can put MODE. You can use the full terminology. Mod is equal to 7. Okay. So far so good. Okay. Okay. B. 2B. 2B, we have a few data. How many data we have? Okay, this data already been arranged properly, according to the value. We start from 45 until 86. 51 appears 3 times. 52, 1 time. 65, 2 times. 70, 3 times. 81, 1 time. 86, 1 time. Right? Okay, you may find that in fact 51 and 70 have the same frequency. That means 3. Similar frequency, 3. And both numbers appear at the highest frequency, highest frequency compared to others. If that is the case, we can conclude there will be 2 mods. Okay, there are 2 mods for this data set. There are 2 mods. So for your project, also the same. It can be 2 mods for your project. There are 2 numbers maybe appear at the highest and the similar frequency. Then in this case here, we can conclude the mods are 51 and 70. Okay. So I use plural DES, all right? 51 and 70, 2 mods. Okay, so for your project also the same. Sometimes can have more than 2 mods, sometimes can be 3 mods, possible also. Okay. So this is the disadvantage for mod. All right, can be more than 1 mod. Okay. Okay, C, example 2C. Let us analyze the data. Yeah, it's good that we can sort the data first from lowest to highest so that it's easy for us to see the pattern. Okay, we start from 2.9, 3.4, 3.5 until last one is 9.1. Okay, check. Is there any number appears more than 1 time? Or any number, right, that appears with the highest frequency? That means appears many times compared to other numbers. No, so that means all of the number only appear 1 time. Each number appears only 1 time, right? For 1C, right? One number only appear 1 time. So what is our conclusion? Should we put mod equal to 0? Should we set that mod equal to 0? What is our conclusion? Should we say mod is equal to 0? If we say mod is equal to 0, that means 0 appears many times. Okay. So answer is not mod equal to 0. 0 is not the answer. Okay. If you say mod equal to 0, that means 0 appears many times compared to other number, which is not correct for this data. So what is the answer? You just say no mod. Yeah. Just put no mod. So for your project also the same. Okay. You just make conclusion no mod in the data set. Okay. Oh, just no mod. Okay. So far so good. So make sure that you know how to apply to your project. So the disadvantage of mod is sometimes the mod can have more than one answer, right? Sometimes there is no answer for the mod, no mod at all. So this is the limitation of mod. Okay. Okay, next measurement, median. Okay. We have to understand the meaning first. Median, what is the meaning? Median means middle number. Middle number. Okay. That means the value in the middle of the data set. So middle is the keyword. So how to calculate the middle number? That means that you need to sort the data. You need to arrange the data from lowest to highest number before you can get the median value. First step, okay? Second step is you need to identify the location of median. Location means term, T-E-R-M of median. The formula is using n plus 1 divided by 2. N is referred to number of data available. So for your project, you have 50 data. So replace 50 into the N. Okay, 2, what is the reason 2? 2 is because 1 over 2. Okay, 1 over 2. This 2 is because median is in the middle. All right. So we know that 1 over 2, I just simply use this way. We know that 1 over 2, let's put here, is equal to 1 over 2, it means half. All right. So it's equal to, if you convert, it's equal to 0.5. Right. If you convert to percentage, it's 50%. Okay, 50%. So that means that the location of median, the term of median is in the middle, is the 50% of the data set. Okay. That's why we divide by 2 to identify the location of median. So you may have a doubt, what is the meaning of location here? Okay, let us see one example. Okay, before that, we need to sort the data first. So for 3A, the lowest number is the term 1, first term, T1. Okay, location 1 or term 1. This is term 2 or location 2, the second location. Okay. This number, this 6 is the third location of your data set. This is the fourth location of your data set. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Okay. This is the term 10 of the data set A. Okay. So first step is you need to identify the location of the median first. Okay. So what is the formula? Formula, you have to use n plus 1 divided by 2. So in this case here, we have 10 data. So substitute 10 to here because we have 10 data. Maybe I can use other color. Okay. We have 10 data. That's why use 10. Maybe if I use pink, can you see? Maybe I use other color. Orange may not be able. I use pink, 10. Okay. Plus 1 is the constant number. All right. 2 is because of median. 1 over 2. That's why divided by 2. Yeah. For simplify, you may find that for this question, the median is equal to term of 11 divided by 2, you'll get 5.5, right? Term of 5.5. So I just put term of 5.5. All right. It's in between, exactly in between term 5 and term 6. Okay? Exactly in between term 5 and term 6. If you don't want to put in this way, you can also say this is at the term of 5.5. Okay, location of 5.5. So it's exactly in between. Okay, term 5 and term 6. So let's see. Okay, term 5 is what number? This number. Okay, this 7 is location 5. Location 6 is this number. Okay, so incidentally, these two numbers are the same, right? So 7 plus 7 divided by 2, you'll get 7 exactly. So that means that for this data set, 7 is the middle number. Okay, the middle value of this data set is 7. It means, okay, 7 is located in the middle of the data set. So bear in mind, in order to get the median, you need to sort the data first. Remember, you need to arrange the data from lowest to highest number. Okay. Next, you need to identify the location of the median by using m plus 1 divided by 2 formula. Okay. So once you identify the location, identify the median value. Okay. So I think I prefer to use the two term median, so that you're not confused. Okay. So this is part A. Okay, part B. Part B also the same. Okay, let's say you have this data. Right? But these data now are not being arranged in the ascending order. So we have to arrange the number first, ascendingly, okay? From lowest to highest. So I get this. Okay. The next step, identify the location of median. So location, we use the formula. How many data we have here? We have 17 data. That's why we use 17 as the numerator. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can count how many data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 data. So we use 17 here. Plus 1 is the constant number. Divided by 2 is because we want to calculate the median. So divided by 2. Okay, so simplify, you'll get term 9. If you don't want to use this terminology, you can just say term of 9, also okay. All right, acceptable. Term of 9. That means location of 9. Okay, location of 9. So we count. So this is first term. Okay, this is term 1, term 2, term 3, 4, term 5, term 6, term 7, term 8. Then term 9 is this number. Okay, so that means median is equal to 6. Okay, 6 is the middle value in the data set. Okay, so I put here median. Okay, quite simple, So far so good. Okay, Okay, next measurement is also a locality measurement. It's called as first quartile. Okay, first quartile. What is the meaning first quartile? First quartile is also called as 25th percentile. Because we know that if you draw a circle, right? If you draw a circle, there'll be 4. Okay, you divide into 4 parts. So one part consists of 25%. 1 quarter means 25%. Okay, 1 quarter means 25%. So first quartile is also called as 25th percentile. Same meaning. Okay? 25th percentile. Same meaning. Maybe I can put here. All right. So sometimes it's also called as 25th percentile. So I use P25 as a symbol. 25th percentile. Same meaning. Okay. And sometimes it's also called as lower quartile. Lower quartile. lower quartile. Okay. So if you want to calculate the first quartile also the same, you need to arrange the data from lowest to highest. First step. Okay. Second step is identify the location of Q1. What is the formula? Formula is using n plus 1 divided by 4. Okay, so n is referred to number of data available. So for your project, there are 50 data, so substitute 50 into the n. 1 is the constant number. Okay, 4, where's the reason we use 4? Because we know that 25% is 1 over 4. Okay, if you don't believe, you can check. Okay, 1 over 4, if you simplify, is equal to 0.25, right? So if you convert to percentage, is 25%. That's why we use 4 as a denominator when we want to identify the location of Q1. Okay. So just now for median we use divided by 2. So for Q1 we use divided by 4. Okay. So once you identify the location, then you can calculate the first quartile value. Okay, let us try one example. Okay, seems to be the data set are the same as the median question just now. Same data set, okay? But now we want to get the median, all right? So as usual, we have to arrange the data from lowest to highest, first step. Remember, second step is identify the location, or we call it term, okay? Term of the Q1. So what is the formula? Substitute the formula in, which is n plus 1 divided by 4. So maybe I can use pink color, okay? 10 is because we have 10 data for set A. One is the constant number because 4 is the location of Q1, okay? Okay, simplify, you'll get term of 2.75. Term of 2.75. So that means that Q1 is in between term 2 and term 3. Term 2 and term 3. And it's more close to term 3. Why? Because of 0.75. So that means that it's more close to term 3 than term 2. Okay? The value is more close to term 3. So how to get the answer now? Okay, next step. Okay, we have to get the answer now. Okay, so we know that okay, it's between term 2 and term 3. So we just substitute the term 2 value, 6 into here. Okay. I use red color to represent this is from the term 2 value. Term 2 is equal to 6. So put here. Okay. 6. You may ask, how do we know it's term 2 not here? Because of this one. Okay. It's between term 2 to term 3. So for confirm, it should be equal or greater than 6. So we substitute this red 6 into here. Okay, plus what? Plus the difference score between the term 3 and term 2. Term 3 is equal to 6 as well. Then the term 2 is also 6. So we substitute these two numbers into here. Multiply what? Multiply 0.75. How to get 0.75 is from here. Okay, 0.75 substitute to here. 0.75, substitute to here, is from this part, from your step 2 just now. Okay, and we know that 6 minus 6 is equal to 0. Multiply 0.75, 0, plus 6 is equal to 6, answer. Okay, exactly equal to 6 for this question, Q1. Okay, one example is not enough. Let's try the second example. Seems this it's quite new for you. Okay, will be also the same. First step, arrange the data from lowest to highest. Second step, identify the location of Q1 using this formula. Okay, 17 is because there are 17 data in this question. Plus 1 is the constant number. 4 is because of Q1. Simplify, you'll get term of 4.5. Okay, so that means the value of Q1 is in between term 4 and term 5. And because it's 0.5, 0.5, that means it's exactly is in between term 4 and term 5, because of 0.5. So it's exactly, okay, in between term 4 and term 5. So which one is term 4? Term 4 is this number, the red one, the red 2 is a term 4. Okay. Which one is term 5? Term 5 is the purple 3. So it's good that we can get the difference between the term 4 and term 5, huh? Get the difference. We use the upper number minus the lower number, get the difference. Huh? So we use purple 3 minus the red 2. So the difference is 1. Okay, so substitute to here. Okay. How about this part? This part is here from your 4.5, 0.5. So we substitute 0.5 to step 3. Okay, so your 0.5 is because of here. This 0.5. That's why I put here 0.5. Huh? So how about this 2 here? 2 is because of the value, the red 2. Okay, so we use the value from term 4 plus the difference, the value difference between term 5 and term 4, then multiply with 0.5. 0.5 is because of here, this part. All right, so we simplify. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 multiplied 0.5 is 0.5. Plus 2, you'll get 2.5. Okay. So far so good, huh? Okay. Next example would be Q3. Q3 means third quartile. Okay, third quartile. And the other name of third quartile is called as 75th percentile. Okay, 75th percentile. Okay, put here 75th percentile. Huh? Same meaning. And it's also called as upper quartile. Third quartile. Huh? What's the reason called as 75th percentile? Is like this. Third quartile means 3/4. Okay, three parts of the quarter. Yeah, 3 parts of the whole square. Okay, consists of 3 parts. So it's 3/4. So if you simplify into decimal number, 3/4, you'll get 0.75, right? So you convert to percentage is 75%. Okay. So third quartile is at the 75th term. Okay, it's at the location of 75th of your overall data set. That's the meaning. So in order to identify the Q3 value, the first step is you have to sort the data from smallest to highest. Okay. Second step is identify the location of Q3. What's the formula now? Formula is using 3 multiply n plus 1 divided by 4. So the difference now is 3/4, right? 3/4. What is the reason? Because 75th, if you convert to fraction number, is 3/4. Okay. 3/4 means 75%. Okay. And this is the reason why we use this formula when we want to identify the location of Q3. Okay. N is the number of data available. So for our project is 50. Plus 1 is the constant number. Okay. So let's try one example. We use the same data set A and B. Okay. First step, sort the data. Second step, identify the location, or we call as term of Q3. Okay. So what is the formula? You're using this formula. So the difference is this part now. The special thing is 3/4. Okay, maybe I use other color. Maybe I use green. All right, 3/4 is the special thing. Okay, N is referred to number of data available, so I use pink color. Okay, maybe I can increase the size. Seems to be those who sit at the back cannot see. Hopefully can see. Okay, those who sit at the back. Okay, I should use other color maybe. Can see now? Hopefully can see, those who sit at the back. Okay. So now we have to simplify this part, all right? 10 plus 1, 11, multiply 3, 33, divided by 4 is equal to term of 8.25. Okay. Location of 8.25 is the location of Q3. So if you identify this number, that means that Q3 is in between term 8 and term 9. But it's more close to term 8. Okay. is more close to term 8. The location of third quartile is more close to term 8 than term 9. Yeah. So so how are we going to calculate the Q3 value? Okay, we need to identify, okay, where is the term 8? Term 8 is this one. The red 7 is the term 8. Location of term 8. Okay, term 9 is this purple 8. This is term 9. Okay. Term 9, and this is term 8. Okay. So how to get the value then? Okay, we have to use the term 8 value, which is the 7. Okay, I use red color. It's from here. All right, from here. Substitute to here. Plus the difference between the T9 and also the T8. 8 minus 7. Substitute to here. Okay. Multiply with 0.25. How to get 0.25? From here. From this 8.25 here. Okay. 0.25. So substitute to here. Okay. So simplify this part. 8 minus 7 is equal to 1. 1 multiplied 0.25 is 0.25. Plus 7 is equal to 7.25. Okay. Okay. One example is not enough. Let's try B. Since it's a new measurement for all of you, you never studied this before in your maybe O level. So let's try one more example. Okay, so set B is using the same data as we already applied just now, but now we want to calculate the Q3. Okay, first step, sort the data. Second step is identify the location of Q3 using this formula. Yeah, 17 is because we have 17 data for this data set. Set B got 17 data. Okay. I should use the Q3. Where is my Q3? This one. Okay. So, term of Q3, we have to use this formula to identify. So maybe I can use other color. 3/4. Okay. 17, we use purple color or maybe pink. Okay. Plus 1 is the constant number. Simplify, I get term of 13.5. So that means Q3 is exactly in between term 13 and term 14 because of 0.5. Okay, 0.5. So that means it's exactly in between term 13 and term 14. So which one is term 13? The red color of 8 is the term 13. Yeah. Term 14 is the purple 8. This is T14. This is T13. Okay. So let's try to solve the problem now. So Q3 is equal to the T13. T13 is the red 8. Okay. The 8 with red color. Plus what? Plus the difference between term 14 and term 13. Get the difference. Okay. So it's using the purple 8 minus the red 8. 0.5 is from where? From here. From here. 0.5. So substitute to here. Okay. Simplify. 8 minus 8, 0. Okay. 0 multiplied 0.5, 0. Plus 8 equal to 8 positive. Okay. This is 0. 0 multiplied 0.5, 0. So plus 8, you'll get 8 exactly. Okay. So the challenge part, I think, is you need to sort the data. You need to remember the formula to identify the location. And also, this part is quite challenging for most of you also. Yeah, something new for you. Okay. I stop for a while. Any question on this? Okay, yeah. So far we already studied all the locality measurement, which include the mean, mode, median, first quartile, third quartile. Okay. These are locality measurement, whereby we only can identify value of certain location from the data set. Okay. One value only from the data set. Okay, the next part would be we are going to study in more detail again. We want to understand more about the data that we have collected. Okay, so what can we do is we can measure instead of the dispersion of the data that we have. Dispersion means the distribution, okay, or the variability of the data that we have. Okay. If the data that you collect, right, have a very extremely small number and also extremely big number, so that means that your data are highly variable, okay, highly varied or highly dispersed. If your data have very extremely small number, also have extremely big number, then you'll get a very dispersed data distribution. Dispersed means highly varied. Varied means a lot of differences. Okay. If that's the case, when you draw your data distribution, you may find that the curve, the curve of the data distribution will be something like C. Curve something like C. C is has a data set with very varied or a lot of differences among the data value. Okay, so you get set C type of data. Okay, if the data that you collect have very small differences and most of the data are quite similar among each other, then you'll get set A type of data. That will be narrow distribution. Very narrow type of distribution. If the data value that you collected are quite similar value. Okay? So you'll get set A of data. If your data value have a lot of differences, okay, then you'll get set C of data. More we call it as what? More wide, okay, more wide. And A is more narrow. Okay. We can use quite a number of measurements to analyze the dispersion of the data that we have. Okay. So let us try to start with range. Range, okay. Okay, I start from here. Okay, example number 6. Let's say we have this data set, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. Okay. If you're asked to, okay, it's good that we can also arrange the data from lowest to highest. So the lowest number is 33, the highest number is 37. Okay. So range, what is the formula? Range is using the highest value from your data set minus the lowest value of your data set. So in this case, it's using 37 minus 33. Range is equal to 4. So that means the value difference between the highest and the lowest value is equal to 4 positive. So far so good, Okay, how about set B? Set B, we have 5, 25, 35, 45, and 55. Okay? So if you want to get the range value, you use 55 minus 5 equal to 50. So between these two data, okay, data set, there are two data set. Which one has the highest range value? Answer is B, right? B, the range is 50. So that means we can say that, okay, B data is more dispersed compared to A. B data is more dispersed compared to A because the data range is higher for set B. Okay. Next. Okay. But the problem is range is very sensitive to the outliers. Outliers means extreme small and extreme big number. So range can be easily affected by the extreme number easily. So this is the weakness. As a result, some statistician decided to use interquartile range. Interquartile range. What is the meaning? Interquartile range means the difference between the Q3 and Q1. Okay. Q3 minus Q1 in order to get interquartile range. Interquartile range actually is the middle 50% of the value from your data set. It's in the mid 50, okay, in the middle of 50% from your data set. Then it's called as interquartile range. Okay. So let's try one example, right? How to get the interquartile range. Okay. So okay, this example. All right. So make sure that you already sort the data properly. Okay, first step, sort the data. For example 7. All right. Then the next step is we try to get the Q1 value first. Q1. Okay, we know that in order to get the Q1, we need to know the location. I think I use other color since we may not be able to see too bright the green. This green is too bright, so I use other green. I try to increase the size also so that you can see. If you don't want to use the term, you can use location, same meaning. Location, okay? So location at Q1 is equal to m plus 1 divided by 4. So for this question, there are 11 data, so substitute 11 to here. 1 is the constant number. Okay. 4 is because we want to get Q1 value now, so divided by 4. 11 plus 1 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3 exactly. So term of 3, okay, the third term. So it's this one, okay? This is the third term. So third term value is equal to 8, okay? 8. Yeah, this green 8. I think I need to increase the size again since we those who sit at the back cannot see. Okay, I increase the size. And then this purple, I use other color. I use other pink. Okay, first step. Okay, then next is to get the Q3. Q3 value, you need to identify the location of Q3. First step. Okay, using what formula? Using 3 multiply m plus 1 divided by 4. 3 divided by 4. I think I use other color. I think those who sit at the back cannot see. Okay, I use other color. Hopefully you can see now. Okay. Three over 4. This one maybe I can use other color. I use. What color I should use? Okay, 3 over 4 for Q3. Okay, so simplify this, you'll get term of 9. Okay, term of 9. Term of 9. Okay, let us count. Where is term of 9? This is T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7, T8. T9 is this one. Okay, this one, T9. This is T9, This is T10, T11. Okay, T9 is 19, so substitute 19 to here. Okay, so now we already have Q3 and Q1. Now we can make conclusion for your inter-quartile range. So formula is Q3 minus Q1. Answer is 19 minus 8. 8 is from here. Okay, this green 8. So substitute to here. So simplify is equal to 11. Okay, inter-quartile range. 11 positive. Okay, next measurement. What is the next measurement for the dispersion measurement? Okay, variance and standard deviation. Okay, so if you want to measure the dispersion of the data distribution, you can also use variance and also standard deviation. Okay, so the higher the variance or standard deviation, the higher the dispersion of the data. Dispersion means difference. Okay, a lot of differences, a lot of changes of the data between in terms of value. Okay. Okay, so usually we use standard deviation to do comparison, but this standard deviation in fact is derived from variance. Okay, so what is the meaning of variance here? Variance actually is the average. Okay, it's the average between the total of x squared. That means your square of all of the value you have from your data. Let's say 50 data. You start out all the value, but you have to square all the 50 data value. Okay. Minus this part. This is the total x power 2. Huh? So this is the difference between total of square minus the mean square value. In fact, this is the mean square. If you check, and this is total x divided by n. Okay? So this is the total mean square value. Okay? And then after you get the difference, you divide by the we call it as a number of data available. Then you'll get the average difference between these two square number. Okay. But because these two numbers are square, right? So we want to get the square root value for variance in order to get the standard deviation, so that we can see the difference, okay, between the total x square and the mean value. Okay. In fact, this part is the mean value. Right? So that means the higher the standard deviation, the more varied is the data distribution. The higher the standard deviation, the higher the disperse of the data. That means a lot of differences. That's the meaning. Okay. So let us try one example here. Okay. So 9A. This is referred to the salesperson. Okay, makes the following number of sales each day for a week. Okay, we have 5. This is the sales data. That means daily sales data. We have 5 days sales data, right? 16, 20, 19, 17, 13. Okay, part A, you're asked to get the mean value. Mean value is easy. Yeah, we can simply use the formula total x divided by n that we already learned this morning, right? Use this formula, yeah, to get the mean. So total x, we know that is the total value of the data provided. So we have to sum out all the 5 data value. Okay, divided by what? Divided by number of data available for this question 5. So substitute 5 to here. Okay. So simplify is equal to 17. So that means on average, the salesperson managed to sell 17 units of something, okay, in a day. Okay, each day, okay, on average, each day, the salesperson can achieve 17 units of sales. Okay, this is the average sales for this salesperson in a week. 17 units. Yeah. Okay, part B. Part B is you're asked to calculate the standard deviation. You have to ask to get the standard deviation. Okay. You can write down the formula first if you want. You can copy the formula first from the formula sheet. Okay. You may find that in order to get the standard deviation, you need total x squared, this part. You also need total x. Okay. So we need to get the total x squared first. What is the meaning of total x squared here? We need to get this part first. Total x squared here, this part. Right. Total x squared, in fact, is total of the data square value. So in this case, is 16 power 2 plus 20 power 2 plus 19 power 2 plus 17 power 2 plus 13 power 2. Okay, yeah. So total x square means this one, the sum of the value square. Okay, so simplify, you get 1475. 1475. Maybe I use other color, right? I use red color, right? 1475. So we substitute 1475 to here. This part. Okay. How about here? Total x. How do you get the answer? In fact, right, when you calculate the mean value, right, the total x here is you already get the answer, which is the numerator part. Total x here. 16 plus 20 plus 19 plus 17 plus 13, which is equal to 85. So in fact, you already have the number 85. So substitute to here. Okay. Or else you can calculate separately. Okay. You can calculate total x value on the right hand side of your formula sheet, or maybe in your working. You can calculate total x separately. and also total x square, calculate separately. Okay, now n is referred to number of data available. For this question, we have 5 data, so we substitute 5 to here. Okay, because there are 5 data. Okay, I stop for a while. Any question on this red part? Yeah, red part is using total of x square. So substitute to here. Green part is here, total x. Substitute to here. Okay. Don't forget you have to put power 2. Power 2 is the constant value. Okay. It's already originally from the equation, power 2. So put here, don't forget this power 2. Okay, bracket power 2. N is 5. Okay. So far so good. Okay, so let's try to simplify this equation step by step. All right. Okay. So square root is still there. 5 minus 1 we can simplify if you want. You'll get 4 positive, right? 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. So immediately, okay, I can simplify it. If I use upper, okay. Then, okay, 1475, I would suggest don't do anything first, just let it be there. We simplify 85 power 2 divided by 5, okay. 85 power 2 divided by 5, you'll get 1445. Okay, this is the way you check your answer, yeah? This I use green. Okay, I put slightly upper top. Okay. Okay, one way for you to check the answer is this green part, right? Always less than the red part. This is the way you check the answer. Okay. The green part must always less than your red part. Okay. The total x squared power n divided by n must always less than total x squared. This is the way you check your answer. Make sure that, okay, your green area here, this green part must always less than this part, this red one. Okay. If this green color number is greater than the red color number, that means something wrong with your answer. You better check again. Something wrong with your calculation. You better check again. Why? Because standard deviation and variance always positive, cannot be negative number. I repeat. Variance and standard deviation must always positive. Cannot be negative. So as the result, the total x squared value must always greater than your total x squared divided by n value. Okay. So check your answer again. If you get negative number, okay, something wrong. Okay. So now we try to simplify. 1475 minus 1445 is equal to 30. 30 divided by 4, then square root the whole thing. You'll get 2.73. Round the answer to 2 decimal places. Okay. So the higher the standard deviation, the higher the dispersion of the data. Okay. The more varied the data. That means the difference of the data value will be high if the standard deviation is high. So far so good. Hopefully you know how to use calculator to simplify the values of standard deviation. For standard deviation, usually we use small s to represent the symbol s. Okay, s square is for variance. We use s square to represent variance. S square for variance. S is for standard deviation. Okay. So far so good. Some students may ask, right, what is the reason we use -1 here? -1 is because this formula is applicable for the sample data only, not for population data, for sample data only. Okay. Due to the sample size can be quite small, relative to the population. That's why we have to -1 in order to this is for to address the degree of freedom. This part -1. We have to use -1. Remember. for sample, because for your project later on, you are going to collect sample only, 50 Swinburne students, for instance. Okay, sample, not the whole population of Swinburne students, but you are going to collect data from a small portion of Swinburne student population. That's why we use -1 formula. Okay. Do you want me to go through another example for standard deviation, 9B, or can skip? Since you already studied before. You want me to go through 9B? Standard deviation. You want me to go through or how? Or you can study by yourself? You want me to go through? Okay, one more time. Okay, all right, 9B. Okay, 9B is also test of understanding on calculating the standard deviation. All right. Okay, 9B. Okay, what are the data we have? We have the car battery life. Okay, the car battery life for 7 cars. So car A battery life is 2.6 years. And car G battery life is 3.9 years. Okay. So you're asked to calculate the mean value using this example. So mean is easy. You can just simply use total x divided by n, right? Total x divided by n. So write down the formula here. Write down the formula here if you want. Fill in the blank. Okay. If you're still not really familiar, then we write down the formula. Okay, write down formula. Insert equation. Okay. So this morning already learned. Total x is divided by n. Okay. So now the next step is to substitute the total x value. So it's 2.6 plus 5.1 plus 4.3 until 3.9. Okay. So all these 7 numbers in the numerator part. Okay, how about the denominator is n? Number of data available, we have 7 data, so substitute 7 to here. So simplify, you'll get 3.9 years. Okay, so make sure that you leave a unit for your final answer. So for this question, the variable of the study is car battery life, and then the unit is in years unit. So the final answer must leave the answer with years unit at the back. So for your project also the same. Make sure that you leave a unit. Okay, next step is to get the standard deviation, all right? So standard deviation, we copy the formula from your formula sheet. Okay, from your formula sheet. N is easy. N, we can just simply substitute 7 to the n. Okay. So 7 is easy to get out because we know that we have 7 data. How about this part? Total x, we also already have the answer. Where? Here. When we calculate the mean value, remember? The total x value is 27.3, yeah? So we already have the answer for this. I substitute to here, 27.3. But remember, you have to put power 2, outside the 27.3, you have to put power 2, right? You already have the answer here. Total x is from this part, okay, from here, when you get the main value. So now the problem is total x squared we don't have. We still don't have the value for total x squared, right? So you can calculate separately in your, we call it as the working sheet, okay? Working sheet, you can calculate separately to get the total x value, 117.13, yeah? So for those who are still not familiar, okay, I'll show you how to get the total x squared value again. So we go to insert. Okay, I use this one. Okay, so the value will be equal to 2.642 plus 5.1 power 2 So continue the same process until 3.9 power 2, 4.3 power 2. Okay, I want to save the time, all right? So lastly, plus 3.9 power 2. Okay, maybe I use red color so that I can see. Red. Okay. So the total value is equal to 117.13. Okay, you can round the answer to 2 decimal places. I believe when you're trying to calculate the value, right, you may find that is a continuous number, right? I believe it's a continuous number. Is that a continuous number? So what can you do is you can round the answer to 2 decimal places. If you round, that means, right? I think this number is a continuous number or exactly 0.313 or continuous number. Continuous, or 0.13 start at 3 or continuous number. Somebody maybe already tried. Okay, if a continuous number, then you just round the answer to 2 decimal places. So that means we already created the rounding error. Already created the rounding error for this part. 117.13. If you round to 2 decimal places enough. Okay, then this part, 27.3 power 2 divided by 7. You can also try to round to 2 decimal places. Okay, you'll get 106.47. Right. So that means rounding error already happened. Okay, this one is red. This one I use green color. Okay. All right, then we still want to simplify the number inside the square root. Okay, simplify. So we use the red color minus the green color. Make sure that the red value is more than the green value. Right, so we get 10.66 divided by 6 and then square root the whole thing. Simplify the answer into 1 or 2 decimal places enough. 1 to 2 decimal places. So I get 1.3, yes. Or it can be 1 point something, 1.3 something. Okay. So you may leave the answer in 1 or 2 decimal places. Yeah. So far so good. Okay, next. Next will be the CV. Okay, coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation. So this measurement is also used to measure the dispersion of the data distribution. Okay, whether it's highly dispersed or not. So the higher the CV, the more dispersed is the data distribution. That means the values deviate a lot from the mean. Okay, so what's the formula to get the CV? CV is using the formula of standard deviation divided by mean, and then convert the answer into percentage. So we have to multiply with 100%. So bear in mind, for CV, this is the measurement whereby your answer is in percentage. Okay, you have to leave the answer in percentage. So let's try. Okay, to apply this formula using the following example. So this is the new formula that you learned today. New formula. Standard deviation divided by mean, multiply 100%. Okay, let's try one example here. Okay. Okay, let's say part A. Okay, set A, we have only 3 data. 3 data. Assume that we already get the mean and standard deviation is 0 because all of the data have the same number, right? 100. So that means standard deviation is equal to 0. Assume that we already have the answer for S and mean. Okay. Let's say we already have these 2 values. So in order to get the CV, we just simply substitute the value of standard deviation 0 and the mean value is equal to 100. So simplify, you'll get 0%. Okay. CV is equal to 0%. for set A data. Okay, set B data. Set B data, let's say we also already have the mean and standard deviation. Simplify, you'll get 8.16%. Okay, CV is 8.16% for set B data. Okay, set C data. Okay, the standard deviation is 30.83. Mean value is 27.9. Simplify, I get 110.5%. So you compare the CV value. Set C has the highest CV. So that means set C has the most dispersed data. That means the value of the data have much different value from the mean. That is the meaning of the CV value. Okay. So set C has the highest dispersed data. Set A has the most consistent. Most consistent means stable. Most consistent or most stable data. Okay, then some students may ask then, okay, since we have learned quite a number of measurements, so we have learned this standard deviation and CV, then which measurement is the best measurement to be used to compare the dispersion of the data distribution? Then answer is CV. Okay. If the question is asking you to compare which data is more dispersed or more varied or more consistent, try to use CV. Don't use standard deviation. Okay, try to use CV. Remember, use CV to do comparison. Why? Because all of these data have different mean value. All of the data have different mean value. So it's better for you to use the CV to do comparison instead of using standard deviation. Use CV. Okay. Okay, I think the last one will be the skewness. Okay, skewness. Skewness actually is the measurement used to describe the data distribution pattern. Data distribution pattern. So I repeat, skewness measurement is used to analyze the data distribution. Okay. So I'll start with the middle one, the green one. This one. Okay. The data distribution is something like this. You may find that it's a bell-shaped curve, right? Something like a bell, right? For the second graph, something like a bell. And you may find that, right? If you divide this graph into two parts, the left-hand side is exactly equal to the right-hand side, right? You may find that the left-hand side is exactly equal to the right-hand side. Okay, if that's the case, we can conclude the data distribution is symmetrical or normally distributed. We can conclude for the green graph, we can conclude the data distribution is symmetrical or normally distributed. Okay. Because we found you can see if you divide this green area into two parts, the left hand side is exactly equal to the right hand side. Okay. So in terms of the data distribution, we can say it's symmetrical or normally distributed. Okay. There is one interesting observation from the statistician. Okay. If the data distribution is symmetrical, then where is the location of mean, mode, and median? Answer is in the middle. Interestingly, okay, if the data is normally distributed, right, the mean, median, and mode value are all in the middle, and these three measurements are all equal value. Okay, equal value. So this is the interesting characteristics of symmetrical data distribution. Okay, so that means the mean, median, and mode all are in the middle here. Okay, if I draw a line, maybe I can use other color. All right, I use other color. I use a thicker line. Okay, all right. So the red line here. So the location of mean, median, and mode all are here in the middle. Okay. If you see the mountain, mountain means the mod value. Okay, mod value will be here. Mountain. Okay, median means middle, also here. Mean is here as well, if symmetrical. So the value will be this number. Okay. Okay, this is the first graph, all right? Then the next graph is, let's say I'll start with this one. I move to the red one, this one. If you analyze this red curve, you may identify the tail. This is the tail. The tail is on the right hand side. The tail here is on the right hand side. This one. The tail is on the right hand side. This is tail, T-A-I-L. Okay, I add one. Insert text box. Okay. T-A-I-L. This is the tail area, all right? Tail. Okay. Tail area. It's on the right. And you may find that this data distribution line is skewed to the right. Okay, it's skewed to the right. That means the tail is on the right hand side. It's no longer symmetrical, but it's skewed to the right hand side. Okay. Then what can we conclude about this diagram then? Then we can say that the data distribution is skewed to the right or positively skewed. Okay, the data distribution is skewed to the right or positively skewed. Okay, so for this type of graph, right, where is the mean, the mod, and the median then? Where? Okay, I'll use this one. Okay, I'll use this one. This one, okay. So where is the median then? Median is always in the middle. Okay, so if the data is skewed to the right, or positively skewed, where is the median value? Median is always in the middle of the diagram. So median is in the middle here, the green one. Okay, where is the mod? Mod is the one that with the peak. Okay, the mountain one, that will be the mod value here. This is the mod. Okay, mod is here. Median is here. It's always in the middle. Okay. This is the median. Okay, I try to increase the size. So those who sit at the back cannot see. Okay. If the data distribution is skewed to the right or positively skewed, where is the median? Median is always in the middle. So here. Okay, this one. Median. This is the median. Median is this number. Okay, here. Where is the mod? Mod is, you always have to look at the mountain, the peak here. Okay, so mod value is this one. Then where's the mean then? Mean, okay, because median is always in the middle, right? And we know that this is already in the mod. So where's the mean? Mean should be another side. Mean should be here, this green color, mean. So you may find that for, if the data distribution is skewed to the right, the mean value is greater than the median, and the median is greater than the mod. Okay. Number on the right hand side is bigger, So in this case here, for the data which is skewed to the right, you may find that the mean is greater than the median, and the median is greater than the mod. Okay. So these are the few characteristics of positively skewed data. So far, okay? So far, so good? Okay, last one. What happens if the tail is on the left-hand side now? Like this, the green one. The tail is here now. It's on the left-hand side. Yeah. Then we can conclude the data distribution is skewed to the left or negatively skewed. The data distribution is negatively skewed. Okay, any characteristics that we can observe from the negatively skewed data? This is the example. The tail is on the left-hand side now. Here. Okay. So any special thing about this negatively skewed data? Where is the median? Median is still always in the middle. Okay, middle of the diagram. Here, the green color is the median. Where's the mod? Mod, you have to look at the peak, the mountain. Mountain is where? here, right? So the mod is equal to this number. Okay. So mod is equal to this number. Okay. You draw a line from this mountain, this peak, draw a straight line until touching the x-axis. So this is the mod value. Okay. Then where is the mean? Mean, it should be on another side. Yeah, it should be here. Mean value, it should be somewhere here. Okay. Median is always in the middle. So what is the conclusion if the data is negatively skewed? So you can find that, right? The mod value is greater than the median and is greater than the mean value if the data distribution is negatively skewed. So far so good? Okay, so sometimes by using your eyesight, you may not be able to identify whether the data is symmetrical, skewed to the right, skewed to the left. Don't worry, we can use formula. Okay, if you cannot observe using eyesight, we use formula to identify the skewness value, the pattern of the data distribution. So where's the formula we can use? We can use mean minus mod divided by standard deviation. Okay, mean minus mod divided by standard deviation. This formula is called as the SKP, skewness. The formula to calculate the skewness value. Okay. If your skewness value is equal to 0 exactly, that means your mean is equal to mod. Okay, so mean minus mod equal to 0, then you can conclude the data distribution is symmetrical or normally distributed. So you can use this formula. Okay, if your SKP is 0, you can say that the data distribution is symmetrical or normally distributed. All right. But however, because this morning we know that, right? We noticed that not all of the data have mod value, right? Some of the data have not mod value. Then we cannot use this formula to get the skewness. How? We use this one. 3 multiply mean minus median divided by standard deviation. Okay. So if your SKP is equal to 0, that means the data distribution is symmetrical. Okay. I prefer this one because it's more simple, but if we don't have the mod, we use this formula. Or if your mod has more than one, then we better use the second formula. Okay. Then some students may ask, what happens if we don't have the standard deviation? How? How to make the decision then? Don't worry, because we know that standard deviation always positive. Even though we don't know what is the standard deviation value, but we know that it's always positive. All right. So 0 divided by positive number is still equal to 0. Okay. You know what I mean? 0 divided by positive number is still equal to 0. So you still can make conclusion without the standard deviation. Without knowing the standard deviation, we still can make conclusion on the data distribution pattern. Okay. Okay, what happens if your SKP is greater than 0? That means your mean is more than your mod. If your mean more than your mod, that means you'll get SKP greater than 0. Okay, if greater than 0, that means the data distribution is skewed to the right-hand side. Okay, data distribution is skewed to the right-hand side. If your mean minus mod is negative number, that means less than 0, then the conclusion is the data distribution is skewed to the left or negatively skewed. All right. Okay, we have a few examples here. Let us try this example. We have three sets of data. Okay, let's try A, example 11A. We have mean 1, 2, 3, mod 1, 2, 3, median 1, 2, 3. So you ask identify the skewness. Let's say you are asked to calculate the skewness value. So what can we conclude about data set A? Set A data. What is the conclusion? Answer is the data distribution is symmetrical, right? Why? Because if you use mean minus mod is equal to 0. That means SKP, the skewness value is equal to 0. So that means the data distribution is symmetrical. Okay. Next. Okay. Mean 34, mod 42, and median 38. Okay, let us try to use the formula mean minus mod divided by standard deviation. I use that one. Mean minus mod divided by standard deviation. Mean minus mod, you'll get negative number, right? the skewness value for part B is negative. So conclusion is the data distribution is negatively skewed. Or you can say the data distribution is skewed to the left-hand side, or skewed to the left enough. The data distribution is skewed to the left. Okay, last one, C. Mean minus mod, we use mean minus mod. Mean 212, mod 193. It's a positive number, right? Mean minus mod is a positive number. So conclusion is the data distribution is skewed to the right, or the data distribution is positively skewed. Okay. Okay. Maybe this one I'll do that during the tutorial, This one is okay. Besides knowing how to calculate all the locality and dispersion measurement, we must also know how to interpret the value of 10 for each measurement. We must also know how to interpret the value. Do you want me to go through? Okay, I'll go through because it's also important for your project part 2 later on. Okay. I'll use this lifetime of the car battery again, the 7 lifetime battery. All right. So in order to save the time, I already calculated all the measurement value. This one I try to reduce the size so that you can see. Okay, let's say the mean value we get is 3.9 years, 3.9. So what is the meaning? How are you going to interpret the meaning of this mean value in your report? Let's say, okay, 3.9. What is the meaning? Okay, you can say that the average car battery life, okay, is 3.9 years. Or you can use another sentence. You can say, on average, a car battery has 3.9 years of life. Okay? Or you can say, on average, a car battery can last for 3.9 years. Okay. So this is how you interpret the mean value. You can either use this sentence or other sentences that you feel comfortable. But the keyword is average. Okay. Keyword is average. Yeah. Okay, how about mod? Mod 5.1 years. What is the meaning? That means among these 7 car batteries, the car battery sample, most of the car battery can last for 5.1 years. Right? Most of the car batteries can last for 5.1 years. If you don't want to use most of the, you can say majority. Right? Majority of the car battery. Instead of using most, you can say majority. Okay, median. Median, we know that is a middle number, right? Middle number. So how to interpret this median value? Okay, you can start with this sentence. You can say 50% of your object. In this case, it will be the batteries. 50% of the batteries can have the lifespan below than 4.3 years. 4.3 years. So or we can say 50% of the batteries have lifespan below, or you can say less than, okay, or lower than. Not necessarily have to use below. You can say lower than, less than, or some other negative words to replace below. Okay. Then, and how about another 50%? Another 50% of the observed, because the observed object in this case, car batteries have lifespan above 4.3 years. If you don't want to use the word above, you can say more than, higher than. Okay. 4.3. How to get this 4.3 is from here, from this figure. Okay. It's from the figure that we obtained, 4.3. So we substitute 4.3 to here. Okay. So you may find that the pattern to analyze, to describe the median, you have to use this word, 50%. 50%. Okay, and also substitute the value 4.3. Okay. How about Q1 first quartile? First quartile, let's say we get 2.6%. So what is the meaning? 2.6 years. Okay, in order to elaborate first quartile, yeah, we have to start with 25%. Okay? Always start with 25%. 25% of the observed batteries, okay, have lifespan below 2.6 years. 2.6 is from here, from this number, right? And what happened to another remaining batteries? The remaining 75 batteries have lifespan above 2.6 years. 75%, very important. Huh? So you may find that for first quartile is using 25% less than, 25% less than, and 75% more than. Maybe I use other color, all right? 75%. Okay, how about Q3? 5.1 years. Okay, if we want to elaborate or interpret the value of third quartile, okay, we always start with 75%. So now I use red color. 75% of the battery have lifespan below 5.1 years. Below. And the remaining 25%, another 25% of the batteries, I use green color, okay, have lifespan above 5.1 years. Okay. So for Q3 is 75% less than, 25% more than the Q3 figure. Okay. So this is the sentence you can use, okay, in order to interpret the value of Q3. Okay. Then next is standard deviation, 1.3 years. We already calculated standard deviation just now. So what is the meaning? Then how 1.3 years? Okay, what is the meaning of 1.3 years of standard deviation? That means we can say that the average life differences between the seven observed okay, batteries and the mean is 1.3 years. That is the average. The average lifespan. The average life differences between the 7 observed battery, that will be this 7 observed batteries, and the mean is equal to 1.3 years. Okay. Maybe you are confused with this sentence. Okay, I like to use this as an example. What is the meaning of this sentence here? I think I go back to the example again. There is one example for this. Okay, I use this one. All right. How to get the standard deviation? Another way is like this. So we know that the lifespan for car battery A is 2.6, and for G the lifespan is 3.9. Okay, let's get the difference between the observed data, okay, the observed life battery life, and also the mean. We get the difference is how much? Mean we know that is 3.9. So 2.6 minus 3.9 is negative 1.3, right? For car B, we use 5.1 minus 3.9 because we know that the mean for the car battery life is 3.9. So 5.1 minus 3.9, you get 1.2. For battery C is 4.3 minus 3.9, 0.4. Okay, last one, 3.9 minus 3.9 is equal to 0. Then we square all this difference. Okay, we square all this difference, we get 1.69 for car battery A. Okay, car battery G is 0. Total out all these different square, you get 10.66. Okay. So in fact, 10.66 is this part, the numerator part. Then divided by the sample of the battery minus 1. And square root the whole thing, you get 1.33. Okay. So actually, this 1.33 is the average difference of the lifespan battery between the selected sample, the 7 selected sample with the mean. Okay, the average difference is equal to 1.33 years. This is how you get the answer. Yeah, standard deviation 1.33. So I go back again to the slide. Okay, so 1.3 is 1 here. So this is the average life difference between the 7 selected sample of batteries and the mean. Okay, G is coefficient of variation. So CV actually is used to compare two sets of data in terms of the dispersion. Okay, we need to compare two sets of data. Yeah? So the higher the CV, the more dispersed is the data distribution. Okay, so for this question, the CV is 18.5. 18.5 is still not so bad, still okay. So you can say it's moderate dispersed, moderately dispersed. Or variate, you can use the word variate or dispersed. Okay. Consistent is stable. Okay, when the CV value is less than 10, then we can conclude the car battery life distribution is consistent. But here now it's more than 10, right? But it's less than 20, so it's moderately varied or moderately dispersed. Okay, if your CV is like 100%, more than 100%, then it's highly dispersed. So it depends on your CV value. Okay, lastly, skewness. Skewness is easy, already learned. So for this question, it's negative number. Negative, that means the data distribution of the car battery lifespan is negatively skewed or skewed to the left. Okay, so these are the things that you need to know for your project 2 later on. When you're asked to elaborate the value of the measurement that you have done for the data that you have collected. Okay, so we already done part 2 of chapter 1. Okay, on the ungrouped data. So coming week we are going to group data. Coming week that will be the last part of chapter 1. We will focus on group data coming week. So today this one will be very important for your project 1. Okay, project 1 you need all these skills, knowledge to apply for your project 1. Okay, so we already finished chapter part 1 and part 2 as well. So when you go back, you may try the exercise also if you want. The exercise you can get from your Canvas site. Okay. I'll let you go earlier also today because we have another class going to use the room. So I'll let you go later. Okay. How to go to the Canvas site? Okay, Canvas site. Okay, all right. For those who want to practice the exercise, you can go to Canvas. Okay, I'll let you go earlier later on. Maybe by 10:45, we can just call a day. Okay. Okay, so this coming tutorial, we'll discuss the tutorial questions if you have any problem. Okay, which question we are going to discuss? Okay, you can go to modules. Go to week 2 now. We are in week 2 this week, week 2. So go to here, all right, tutorial. Open this file. Okay, so this week we should better try. Exercise 1.7. We can start from exercise 1.7. Okay, these are all ungrouped data. All right, but since there are many data in one set of data, if you really want, you can use Excel to help you. You can use Excel in order to sort the data if you want. When you sort the data by using Excel, make sure that the data are sorted in the vertical form, from top to down, top down. Only one column involved. Probably I'm going to show you during the class, during the tutorial, how to use Excel to help you to simplify the steps. Okay, you can use Excel to help. All right. 1.8 is on to test understanding on range and interquartile range. 1.9 is on the standard deviation and variance and CV. All right. Skewness is on exercise 1.11. Okay, so you should start until 1.11, 1.7 until 1.11. Okay, this is for your tutorial in this coming week. And okay, for your project, right? Some students, I think, already indicated your survey question in the discussion board. Okay, so I already approved. Also, I already approved your survey question for some of the group. And also indicate your group members as well. Temporary, you can just indicate, if you don't have enough members, you can just indicate whatever you have. Okay, let's say for this group, you have 3 members. So you just put temporary. Yeah? If in the future you have more members to add, you can just simply use this button in order to then edit. You can click on this 3-dot button, edit. Then you can add new members in the future. Okay. So at the moment, I only have 3 members. So maybe can we'll expect more members are going to join. All right. So the group leaders make sure that okay, we have more groups now. Okay. All right. And okay, so indicate your topic and also your group members' name and leader. Okay, in order to help you to do the discussion later on, especially those who join online, I'm going to create the Microsoft Teams link. This is not compulsory, but I just create a link so that the members can have a discussion in your own Microsoft link. Okay, so I'm going to create for all of you, for all of the groups, okay, especially the online group. All right, any other questions before we call a day for your project? So make sure that before you decide after you have decided the topic, email to me first, okay? Email to me to approve your topic, because I want to ensure that your topic is able to help to collect the data. You're able to collect the data by answering the survey question, and also your topic is not the same with other groups as well, because I don't want plagiarism happen. So those, like this topic already be chosen, so you should not choose this topic anymore, like watching YouTube time. You cannot choose this topic anymore because this group already chosen this topic. Okay. Any other questions that I would like to ask before we call a day? Okay, attendance, please sign your name. For those who attend the class physically, please sign your name in the second column. Okay. Attendance, please sign your name. Okay, if you got any problem with your project, you still can email me. You can email me from time to time. Okay, all right. If no other question, then we just call there, and I'll see you during the tutorial. Okay, thank you for coming. Bye bye. Yeah, you may leave now if you want. Attendance. Who is holding the attendance list now? Attendance list. Who is holding the attendance for the lecture? Oh, yeah. Okay. Sign your name. For the online students, do you have any question to ask before we call a day? Online students, there is a QR code online students here have to scan for attendance. Emmanuel. I'm not sure the QR code. Yeah. But for the online student, no need to take attendance. Okay, Emmanuel. Online student, no need to take any attendance so far. Emmanuel, yeah. Any other questions? Sir, where do we find the topics? Topics, you have to discuss. Clement, you need to discuss the topic with your team members. Okay, after decided the topic, you need to get approval from me. Okay, through email. Brian, Sean, Jasmine, Sean, Venice, yeah, and also Michelle. Do you have any other question? Dashini, can you hear me? If not, then okay, we just call there. Bye bye to all of you. Yeah, I'll stop to do recording now.